Hey everybody, Roman versus With Squashfest podcast and my co-host.
Nick Aldis called me and told me I too have a qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber next week, and I will be facing Headbanger Mosh and Headbanger Thrash.
What is wrong?
It's the boy Harm.
By the way, random thought.
Mm.
I think it'd be cool as if we had sponsors going forward throughout the show, just like Steven Larson. However, we don't have sponsors.
So we make up our own.
I just thought it'd be hilarious just to have our own randomly made.
You can't. I can't be trusted with that. I'm gonna come up. He's gonna talk about me getting us canceled. That me make up a fake sponsor.
Because I was listening to them, and you know how like they pretend as though they take the stuff that they be.
Oh yeah.
They're like, hey Steve, when I started going bald, I started taking blah 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 blah.
Oh, that dude's forehead is humongous,
yes,
bro.
It is. Well, I'm saying like they be saying stuff and pretending like they actually take the stuff, and I'd be like, well, it would be dope if I'm like, hey Derek, how do you treat your hemorrhoids? Because
I pretend they don't exist. No, but here's the thing about all of the sponsors on every radio show or podcast. They actually send the product to the radio host and podcast host, so that way they can accurately talk about this stuff. It's just no one actually uses the crap. It's like whenever you listen to a sport like a sports podcast and they're sponsored by like 1-800 mattress, if they want, they can get a free mattress from the company. They're just like, what the hell am I gonna do with another free mattress?
That's a good point. But yeah, I think that would be cool. So, Friday Night SmackDown.
It just felt like a filler show to me. Like, I understand it's supposed to be the Royal Rumble recap, and we're supposed to be moving towards Elimination Chamber because we need to figure out who's going to be facing Drew McIntyre and possibly Jade Cargill and Stephanie Vaquera, because I told you after the Raw recap that even though Liv held up the championship over Stephanie, I didn't take that as an official.
Yeah, I didn't take it that way either.
Moment.
And we were right about that. But you were wrong about Oba.
Oh yeah, I know. I saw. It's like when the lights went out, and I was like, "Oh, this is where we get the Royce Keys debut."
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought. And then the Oba music, and I'm like, "Okay, cool. We don't know which show this man's on."
He's just going to go around for the next few weeks, just wrecking house.
Yeah, this just felt like a filler show. We had to get 3 hours of television in. So how do we do it? And we can get into it. Before we start, justice for both Drew McIntyre and Kit Wilson.
No,
I'm sorry. These men.
Justice for Kit Wilson. Justice for Kit Wilson.
Drew
is doing such good work.
And Boba just destroyed him. And then the backstage segment, we'll get into it, but the backstage segment when he goes and calls Matt Cardona a protein bar with legs or something like that. It was hilarious. And then we got an Apollo Crews sighting. I was like, wait, what? Where have you dusted this man off from?
I missed that.
Oh, you missed the backstage segment? Yeah, it was after Oba beat down Kit Wilson.
Okay.
Kit Wilson's walking through the back, and Matt Cardona is just standing there with Apollo Crews hanging out. And Kit Wilson's like, "This is all your fault. Ever since you showed up looking like a protein bar with legs." And I was just like, what is he talking about?
That's mean. But good to know that Apollo Crews still exists in the WWE universe.
Yeah, he's everybody's friend. He just shows up. Oh yeah, you flew him in. What city were they in? I don't even know.
Wherever Cody's from.
Oh, Charlotte. Cody's not from Charlotte. Cody was born in Charlotte. That's because he said it during his promo. Cody's from Atlanta.
Okay.
Yes, but they were in Charlotte last night. And I should remember that because they kept showing pictures of Jordan Poole in the background. All right, let's just get into it. The show kicks off after we get our intro walk-ins by all of the superstars and announcing the matches we're having that night. Show kicks off with Drew McIntyre making his way to the ring. And this man got to the ring. Didn't get in the ring. He got to the ring. And salty-ass Cody Raheem Rhodes.
So dumb.
But Cody comes out and attacks him. Runs off Drew McIntyre. Drew has to make a U-turn through the crowd to grab his title belt. Bunch of security guards get in between them to stop Cody from attacking him. Cody gets in the ring. And he, obviously, because Drew cost him the Royal Rumble on Saturday night. So Cody gets in the ring and starts running down Drew. He's like, I'm gonna beat you down. I'm gonna take your title at Mania. I have to win the Elimination Chamber to get into some Mania. And I'm gonna win back that title. And then he starts talking about CM Punk and Roman Reigns. And I did not watch SmackDown until this morning, but I had seen this clip last night. Cody, WWE is still rated TV PG. You can't be using innuendo talking about your big black. You go. He talks about Roman Reigns and how they're talking and how then they bring up Cody and how and how they're the two number one stars. And we knew it was going to be a measuring contest. Well, good thing I wasn't involved because there's a reason I got the nickname Raheem. And I was like, wait, what? This man just yeah, so Cody so he talks about I was born in this city and I'm gonna WrestleMania after I win the Elimination Chamber, I'm going to take back what is mine, this WWE Undisputed Championship, and on Drew McIntyre, I'm going to beat that ass. Basically what it says. So he leaves. We get back from break, and Nick Aldis is there with all the security guards, and he tells Cody he needs to relax. He can't be coming out and attacking Drew, and if he wants to get his hands on Drew, he needs to win his qualifying match next week, and then win the Elimination Chamber so he can have Drew at Mania. And Cody is like, all right, I'll do that, Nick. But I didn't start this. Nick. It's not my fault. And he's just acting like a child running away, like the child who got caught by mom and dad, who because they reacted to something their sibling did, and then the child's just like, but it's not my fault. I'm just doing this because little Nicky did this. No, Cody. You've been in the business way too long. Your father's a legend. You're an undisputed champion for multiple years. You know how this goes down. Stop acting like a child.
You sound salty. I thought the promo was fine. He's so bland to me. So even when he comes across like he's angry, it just doesn't hit for me. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, he's great in the ring, but his mic skills for me he panders to the crowd, which all baby faces tend to do. However, when he does it, I find it a little more irritating than most. I don't know. It's a Cody thing.
I need Ring of Honor heel Cody because that man was so comfortable in the heel role in Ring of Honor in New Japan, and he's so much more interesting as a heel. It's WWE template babyface. How do I be John Cena and just make it my own, right? How do I be? And this is what Roman struggled for years because people are trying to fit this mold of what they think a babyface should be in this company, and it gets over with the crowd. It gets over with kids. People still love Cody. They'll sing his song in Saudi Arabia during the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
But when you watch it week after week after week, and it's been 2 years of him as champion doing this, and a year or two previous since he's come back to WWE doing the same thing, it's very methodical and very repetitive. to me. And I think that's the problem. It just seems like every Cody feud, every Cody promo, not every Cody match, but everything is the same. And it's just there's no dimension to anything that happens with him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I would say. No dimension. It's just very cookie cutter.
Yeah. All right. So then we get our first match of the night. Our tag team championship match between Rio and Kiana James and Julia. And there was no shot Kiana and Julia were going to win these titles.
No,
we had a
absolutely
backstage segment beforehand where they're getting interviewed, Kiana and Julia are, and Julia says something in Japanese and Kiana just translates it with Royal Rumble was a blip. First of all, I don't know how Kiana understood anything Julia said.
No, she definitely didn't.
Kiana said Royal Rumble was a blip, but we're going to win these tag titles tonight, and then Julia's going to win her Elimination Chamber match, and we're going to go into Mania, and Julia is going to walk out of WrestleMania a triple champion.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not.
No.
This was a fun match.
Yep.
They're good. Rhea and Io are great in the ring. Kiana is very good. Julia, I said even before she made her WWE debut, she's one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. So this is a good match. It's just, it is a SmackDown match. It's you know there's not going to be a title change.
Mm-hmm.
How do we try to elevate everybody in this match and continue to remind you that the tag team championships are important, right? So I'm not going to go move for move through this, but eventually I think Kiana James took the pinfall after.
Nope.
No, it was Julia, right?
Julia took the pinfall, which is what I was going to question.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say I remember the finish. I remember the riptide and the moonsault. So Julia takes the pinfall. Okay, so if that's the case, let me reevaluate my thoughts. Because if Julia's taking the pinfall as your number 2 champion on SmackDown,
yep, she's
just a belt holder.
What are you doing?
You're not putting her in a position to where you're ever going to elevate the girl. Right now, it's Kiana James being the manager or mouthpiece for Julia should have been a way to elevate Julia to upper mid card and eventually women's main event status.
Yes.
This has done the exact opposite, where I feel like Julia has elevated Kiana James to that to where she can be that level in the future.
Yes.
And it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. I don't know what we're doing. Justice for Julia.
Yes. When she lost the title the first time to Chelsea Green, I think you had made this point. This is the time to split up her and Kiana James.
Yes.
Like you were saying, like you could have split Julia off from her, maybe turn her into a babyface or a tweener where you don't know who she's going to go after.
Yeah.
And then when coming out of Mania, coming out of Rumble, have her have a big time feud against, a Jade Cargill or Bianca Belair, whoever was going to be champion coming out of that.
Yep.
Well, this is the comparison I'm going to make, and it's not a perfect comparison, but as far as the championships they're holding is the comparison I'll make. She's Dominic Mysterio, where Dominic Mysterio is elevated on Raw. Yes, his character is great, but he holds that Intercontinental Championship, and he never defends the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Julia might hold that championship for like 2 years, and we might forget she's the United States Women's Champion because she never defends the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just a belt holder, and that's going to be her claim to fame for a while until they figure out what to do with her. And I don't know.
It's not hard to book her, though. That's the problem. Like, it's not hard to book her. What are we doing?
As much as we we blame him for a lot of things. Vince had it right a long time ago. Sometimes it's hard to book people who can't speak the language, and I think Paul learning under
we don't even need her to talk.
But that's what I'm saying. My point was, Paul learning under Vince, even though he has a different mentality of what he thinks professional wrestling should be in 2026 versus whatever, a lot of those Vince isms are still there.
100%.
So you had, and we'll talk about it later, you had Shinsuke Nakamura, who's been probably the number one ball drop in this company for the last decade.
I'm ready for that one too.
Okay, but he's the number. When I'm talking about Julia, he's the number one example of a guy who's great, who can't cut a long English promo. You can't talk somebody into the seats, so you're never given opportunities to be the number one guy. And this is just a WWE thing.
I don't need him to be the number one, but goddamn. What we did to him tonight was just wrong.
They've been doing that to him for 8 years. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, when I see Shinsuke Nakamura on TV, my first thought is, who's he going to lose to this week?
Yes.
And that's horrendous because he's a great wrestler. He was one of the biggest signings WWE had in the mid 2010s, coming over from New Japan Pro Wrestling. It was a huge deal when he signed and got to NXT. And they never did anything with him on the main roster. He's a multi-time Intercontinental champion.
He's somebody that needs to leave.
I agree. It's like, and I don't know if that's another thing we can do, guys. Who need to go from WWE to AEW and vice versa. I don't know if AEW is the right place for him either. But if he wants to leave and sign a short-term deal with New Japan and try to re-elevate that company, like, he's a big name. He'd instantly come in and be the number one guy in that company, and he can have some really good matches. Because I can't even tell you who their world champion is right now. Mm-hmm. Somebody just beat Takeshita for it, and I don't know who it is. UG something. Mm. So then we get Carmelo Hayes versus The Miz. This was not much of a match. This was Carmelo getting over on Miz. I hope this is over because we had the backstage right before the match where Miz walks up to Melo. Actually, no, Melo's talking to Ilya, and Miz walks up, and he goes, I spoke to Nick Aldis, and tonight it's going to be you and me, so consider your U.S. Championship Open Challenge officially closed. And Dragunov is just there, like, steaming. Because apparently he was going to challenge again for the U.S. Championship, which I don't need to see round 3 of this. And Carmelo's like, he looks at Ilya, he says, you beat Miz last week, so the championship opportunity is yours, but not tonight. And he looks back at Miz, he goes, tonight, I make the rules. I choose when to put my title on line, which is not at all true.
That's not.
But you got the match. You want the match? You got the match. Me and you tonight. So they go out there, and Miz, like I said last week, Miz is great. He puts on great matches with anybody. Carmelo is going to be a future star. It was a fine match. It was fine. It kept me entertained. You didn't think Miz was going to get the victory here. Carmelo hit a code breaker for the win. Not nothing, but not whatever the other one is called. It's code breaker. But it was fine. I just hope we're not continuously doing this because Melo needs to be moving forward. The U.S. Championship.
I think what's also missing from this, and you had touched on it before, we need him in an actual feud. And not this open challenge thing. There's no story to this. They're trying to tell a story with him and Ilja.
I think you're doing this on purpose now. You're acting like Jimmy from South Park every single week.
I don't know his name.
Ilya.
That guy. Ilya. That just don't sound right. Ilya.
It is Russian. Ilya.
That guy.
You know what you're doing? You're calling him Ilja because you're reading Ilja. It's like an American saying Jose instead of Jose because they've never been around Hispanics their entire life.
Got it. Ilja. I mean,
no.
What was it again?
Ilya.
Ilya. Elliot. Uh,
Here's the thing. I just saw a billboard today for E.T. the musical.
really? What the hell?
Yes, I don't know.
Oh, damn! I lost my train of thought. They're trying to
No,
tell a story with Ilya.
can you just say Dragunov? Is that easier
Dragunov.
for you?
Yes. They're telling a story with Dragunov, and it's like it's not much of a story. It's they both respect each other and they both want to go for the title and they want to compete honorably. That's not much of a story. Like we need to do something with this already.
Yeah, because there's not much of a story, we're intertwining other people into their story, and then taking them out. Like Miz is intertwined in their story, right? For a couple weeks, we thought we were gonna get Tama Tonga intertwined in the U.S. Championship story. Shinsuke was intertwined a little bit.
You thought you were going to get stuff and then you didn't. And then that story anyway split off too.
Yeah, Tommaso Ciampa was in there a little bit before he decided not to re-sign with WWE, right? So they're bringing people in and out to weave them in and out, but it's not like. And I'm not saying Ilya needs to turn heel or Carmelo needs to turn heel, but there needs to be some sort of story. Like if you're gonna do this, I know Carmelo just had this last year with Andrade where they wrestled 7 times, but if you're gonna do this, at least give me that. It's like give me like Carmelo, Ilya in a best of 5, right? And they each have 1 win over each other on the main roster. Like if you give it to me in a best of 5 and let it culminate at Mania or let it in a 2 out of 3 falls match or something where I care.
Yeah.
Because right now it's just not doing anything for anybody. Ilya got himself over by having those great matches, and Carmelo got the rub off of Ilya, which is crazy to say. But they need something. They need to make it more compelling.
Mm-hmm.
We got our first women's qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber. It was Lash legend Tiffany Stratton and Chelsea Green. No one actually thought anybody with Tiffany Stratton was winning this match. Right?
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, I mean, you could have made the argument for Lash.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know Chelsea Green was in here. Justice for Chelsea. I'm sorry. Have you watched Unreal Season 2 yet?
No, but I saw the clips of the Chelsea stuff that you're probably bringing
up. Michael Hayes. Yeah. Because I saw that, and when watching it in a small clip, I understand why people are outraged. And people weren't even outraged when it first aired. It got aggregated again because Chelsea commented on it.
Yes.
But I understand what he was trying to say. Every wrestling company needs that superstar or that wrestler whose job it is to get somebody else over. Right? Mm-hmm. She has talked about how she wants to be the female Miz. Yeah. She's talked about the best comparison right now to her is actually Kit Wilson. Like where they're both there to be comedy gimmicks. They're both there to be charismatic, but they're not going to win. They're not going to get a lot of offense. They're there to make you smile and make you laugh while they're on TV. Mm-hmm. That is the best comparison to her right now. And she, so you knew she wasn't going to win. She ended up taking the pinfall out on this, but Tiffany hit the prettiest moonsault ever. But it's crazy. It's like I don't know what you're like. Chelsea Green is a 2-time former United States champion and the current AAA mixed tag team champion. I think that's what she is. Mm-hmm. I don't know if she ever elevates from the role she's in. It's very, like I said, it's very Miz-like. It's very R-Truth-like, where this is the role we're giving you. I don't think
she needs to, though.
I don't think she needs to either. She gets herself over with what she has. Mm-hmm. But during that match, crowd was cheering for her.
Yes, they were cheering Chelsea.
They were cheering Chelsea. She was getting babyface pops because they want to see good things for her. Everybody does because she's so good at what she does. So her babyface turn eventually will be natural. She's such a great heel that she's going to continue to do heel things, but it's going to be a natural crowd babyface turn for her eventually, where they're just going to have to do it. It's almost like when the New Day were heels, and then people started cheering the New Day 10 years ago, and it was like, oh, we're just going to make this a natural babyface team. Like there was no actual moment where New Day turned babyface. It was just oh, we're getting booed. Oh, they're starting to get cheered. Okay, cool. Let's put them in colorful costumes and give them unicorn penises on their forehead. Like that's what happened. I'm sorry.
I can't with you. I really can't with you sometimes.
That's what happened. But yeah, Tiffany Stratton gets this win over Chelsea Green Lash. And Tiffany Stratton will be in the Money in the Bank. I'm sorry, Elimination Chamber. There are too many of these things to remember. The Money in the Bank, the Elimination Chamber, the Royal Rumble. Like, I'm going to have to start keeping a post-it on my thing to see what's coming up. The Elimination Chamber match. You got nothing?
I got nothing. I thought it would have been cool if Lash got the win, just because she was very impressive in the Rumble, and the girl deserves not a big push, but a push.
No. We're gonna keep her wrapped up in this tag team championship story.
Like, they made that clear last night.
Yeah, we'll talk about that after in a little bit. So then we did get a Bo Dallas vignette.
I missed a lot of things.
You missed the Bo Dallas vignette?
Yes, I did.
You probably fast forwarded through it. He's just basically saying, Solo, you took my lantern. Same thing he's been saying for weeks. It's this is not Uncle Howdy. This is Bo Dallas sitting there. Solo, you took my lantern, and you need the lantern because it reminds you that you're not alone, and because everybody has left you. So the lantern is you trying to sift through your darkness and everything else. Like, it's just like, whatever. I don't care anymore.
Somebody on Threads made the comment. They were just like, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but can we be done with the Wyatt Six? And I thought about it. And I said, I think I'm at that point where I'm just like, can we be done with this?
I'm not there yet.
Okay. But I could see them all go back to NXT. I could see this group in an NXT.
I can see that too. But while we're there, Johnny Gargano was laying down on a weight box. And did you see the piece of the press because he lost Axios next? There was a piece of tape right next to his face that said NXT, and also behind the Motor City Machine Guns, there was another one that said NXT.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was foreshadowing that he's going back to NXT, or are we getting the Johnny Gargano version?
I think it's probably. NXT? I think it's probably that. I don't want him to go back to NXT.
I don't want him to go back to NXT either. I would like to see him because for me, he's always been. If I were to liken him to somebody, it would have been like a Daniel Bryan, and I can see him doing big things. He's not a big guy. He's not super flashy, but he's very good in the ring. He's very charismatic. I feel like he can pull. He pulls off heel, but I think he can pull off face.
Babyface.
He can do babyface amazingly, and I think that they can literally make this guy a star, and I see the people chanting his name. Like, I can see it. And it's just a matter of repackaging him, doing something with him. I don't know how this depressed version of him gets to that, but I would like to see it. I would like to see a babyface turn and see him, in the bright lights.
Give him back his NXT Rebel Heart music, which is a banger. That song is great. Let him come out. Let him again. It's gonna have to start with a mid-tier feud going against Mello or somebody for that United States Championship. I mean, we talk about Daniel Bryan, and that's a great comp for him. But Bryan had to struggle through a lot of crap creative as well before he got there, like losing to Sheamus at WrestleMania in 8 seconds or whatever it was. So he can get there. It's just there's just so much talent in WWE. They have 200 contracted wrestlers across all the brands, and there's not enough TV time for everybody. As crazy as that sounds, um,
bro, bro, bro. There are 6 hours of just main roster. Don't tell me there's not enough time.
listen, we got former world heavyweight champion Damian Priest getting 3 minutes in the back with R-Truth. like I don't know if there's enough TV time for everybody to get
There's
everything.
enough TV time.
I don't think so.
We can make
we dusted off the corpse of Apollo Crews, who we haven't seen in 2 years, to put him on
but
TV.
we've talked about this when they were doing it months ago, where you weren't having the same superstars on every single week. They were like skipping through, and like it would be like alternating every other week or whatever. Like you can easily do that. There's ways around it where you can give everyone time. They just don't want to do it.
Yeah, you kind of have to do it. The problem with that is it's not a television aspect. It's if I liken it to the NBA, right? The NBA has a problem right now because you can spend an exorbitant amount on tickets and then players just don't show up to play. Right. The other day, the Oklahoma City Thunder and San Antonio Spurs played, and the entire starting lineup for the Oklahoma City Thunder were out.
Wow.
So if I'm spending a couple $100 per ticket to go see players, and the players aren't there, I don't
I get that, but I'm saying you have your main stars who are always going to show up. You got your Drew, your Cody, your Jacob, and so on and so forth. You got those guys, but then the rest of them, the ones that don't fall in that tier, you can alternate through the weeks.
Okay.
I don't need to see the U.S. title defended every goddamn week.
I agree. But Carmelo needs to. But then the problem with that is if you're not advancing story week over week, it's hard to make people care about your undermitting stories, right? And now the U.S. Championship doesn't have a story. I get that. Carmelo is one of those guys who could possibly take a week or two off from time to time because he's not involved in the story. But just to talk about, like, you can't have Jordan Grace and Jade Cargill not advancing their story right now. You can't have. I mean, Rhea and Io don't need to be on every goddamn show. I know they're the women's tag team championships and champions, and that title goes across both brands. They don't need to be on every show. Who else was on SmackDown last night that when I saw, I just rolled my eyes? I mean, I know you're trying to get Obafemi over and you only gave him 2 minutes, but that was the longer segment. You really didn't need Kit Wilson on the show last night. You could have taken the segment off with him and Matt Cardona. No one really cares. Like, you didn't need more backstage segments. The Jacob, Cody, Drew could have been one fight as opposed to across 3 segments. Right? Like,
I was fine with the 3 segments just because they wanted to convey that just nobody was letting this man talk.
That's why I said justice for Drew McIntyre, because he came out. I will talk about that later. All right, let's just get back into the show. So we had the Kit Wilsons come out, and he's talking about how everybody's toxic, how the crowd's being toxic, while this man is out there wearing pearls around his neck.
And pelvis thrusts. Like, what
he's hip thrusting like Rick Rude 1987. Like he's saying men need to moisturize. Like, what is he? So he challenges anybody in the back who comes out who on the SmackDown who's in the Rumble to come out and have a match against him. And lights go out. It's Obafemi. Oba's making his way to the ring, and you can hear Oba yelling, "Toxic masculinity!" Yeah. Just like, what is he doing? So he gets in the ring. He hits a couple of running. So the match starts. He hits a couple of running European uppercuts. He hits a.
I thought he was gonna break the ring post. To be honest. He was the way he was hitting that thing. Woof.
He's a big dude. Former D1 athlete. I think he was a shot putter in D1 and University of Georgia. and he hit the Liger bomb, the basic. It's a last ride into a sit-out power bomb for the win. That was fine. You got to continue to get Oba over, I guess. He didn't devote a lot of time to this. Just this again. This could have been the Royce Keys spot. You could have done the same thing.
I agree. I didn't need 2 of these in 1 week from Oba.
He took out a former tag team champions on Raw. I think that is impressive enough than coming out and beating Kit Wilson.
Yeah.
Like that they didn't do anything for him. Everybody beats Kit Wilson.
Poor Kit Wilson.
So then Drew is making his way through the back.
Mm-hmm.
He gets stuck. Oh, that's when because Oba that comes right out of this because Damian Priest and R-Truth are watching the match, and R-Truth is doing the Oba walk, and Damian stares at him. He goes, "Oba was impressive in the Rumble. Did he put hands on you during the Rumble?" And I don't remember if he did. And Damian just shoots a look.
Wasn't he the one that eliminated him?
Probably, I don't remember.
Could have sworn Oba was the one that kicked him out.
Eliminated Damian? Okay,
yeah.
I don't remember. Okay.
That's why Damian wasn't answering. He was just like really annoyed every time he was talking about Oba.
Gotcha. So then Drew walks by, kind of bumps R-Truth. R-Truth looks like he wants to fight. Damian pushes Truth back.
Which immediately my first thought was, I know we're not about to restart this goddamn feud because of R-Truth, because that's exactly how they started the Aleister Black feud. I was like, please do not tell me that this is about to happen. And then my man Damian was like, you don't want this problem? You got enough problems. And I said, oh, thank God. Because I was ready to I was ready to flip my setup. I was ready just to be angry, punching air, bro. I was not about to let this happen. I was about to write so many complaints. I thought that was what they were doing. And I said, no.
Big brother Damian Priest needs to always protect R-Truth, even though R-Truth is 10 years older than him.
Yeah. And he's always getting him into goddamn trouble.
Yes. So Drew makes his way out to the ring, and he gets in the ring this time, goes for a microphone, and as soon as he goes to get the microphone, Jacob Fatu hits the ring and starts beating down Drew McIntyre.
Mm-hmm.
And runs Drew McIntyre off through the crowd, and security tries to stop him, so he tags a couple of security guards. Eventually he leaves, and then we come out of break, and he's getting yelled at by Nick Aldis. And Nick Aldis is copy and paste for what he told Cody. He literally said, like I told Cody, if you wanted to get your hands on Drew McIntyre, you're going to have to wait until WrestleMania, and you got to win your match next week, get into the Elimination Chamber. And now you have to leave. And
I'm just questioning how this becomes a triple threat right now.
for my idea for Mania, how it becomes a triple threat? I don't know, but it's still going that way.
Yeah,
because
100%. Hello, they keep both attacking him.
Yeah, but Cody and Jacob are in the same qualifying match next week.
Are they?
Yes. They announced that it's Cody, Jacob, and I'm looking up right now. But they're in the same qualifying match for the Chamber next week.
But this is definitely happening.
Yeah, 100%. That confused me. I was like, so we're going to get a winner from that match. It's probably going to be Cody. Jacob Fatu is not going to be in... Jacob Fatu is not going to be in the Elimination Chamber match. And how do we get Jacob in? Cody will probably win the Chamber. And then how do we get Jacob involved? He just comes out and keeps attacking them after Cody wins. And then to the point where Cody's like, put him in the match!
Pretty much.
I think that's the only way you get there. Hold on. Yeah, next week. Oh, that's the third person. So 2 of these 3 guys are not going to be in the Elimination Chamber unless they do a last chance to get into the spot. It's Cody, Jacob, and Sami Zayn.
How, bro? Unless. No, that doesn't even make sense. No, I got nothing. Because I was going to say, unless you have Sammy win, and then these two end up in the match anyway somehow, but then Sammy would be involved. And I don't think they're going to go. They're not going to do a fatal 4-way.
No. I was going to say.
Unless they do a fatal 4-way and Sammy wins. That's the only way that happens.
At Mania?
Yeah.
I was gonna say Drew comes out and squat and attacks all of them, but that doesn't make any sense either because it's a triple threat match and there's no disqualification in triple threat matches. So Drew can actually come out there and claim all of them. The match will just continue going on.
I don't know. This is confusing.
Yeah, they announced Cody, Jacob, and Sammy next week, and Alexa, Julia, and Zelina next week.
Who?
Alexa, Julia, and Zelina. Because the women, we don't have enough main event women. We got to throw Julia and Zelina in there, who's a dog nothing to even be considered. Zelina, even though she's a former United States champion, and we love Zelina, if we're talking about being a contender for the women's championship at Mania, she needs to be like number 12 on the list, bro. Like she's like way down there.
12 is too high.
Yeah, we have.
She needs to be with Michin and BFAB at the very end.
I was gonna say, like, we have the entire women's division going for these tag titles. Let's just get into that. We have a backstage segment because Rio won. They're getting interviewed, and they're staring at each other lovingly, talking to Kathy Kelly, saying, "Yeah, Julia and Kiana James put up a good fight," and this is all Io in her broken English. Julia and Kiana James put up a good match, but we were better. We're still the women's tag team champions. And Kathy Kelly asked her about their focus because Rhea has a qualifying match on Raw for the Elimination Chamber. And Rhea says, our focus is the women's tag team championships, but that doesn't mean we can't bring more gold back here. So then, by the way, as soon as Nia and Lash got here, this was the worst acting I have seen on SmackDown in months. This was horrendous. So Nia and Lash come into.
It's like there's a moment where Lash knew what Rhea was supposed to say, but she fumbled it. Like as Rhea was saying it. It was
so when was when Rhea was about to call her a bitch.
Yes.
It's Rhea said, for as big as you two are, you are complaining like too little. And she was going to show them bitches. And Lash was a split second off. And she goes, like what, Rhea? Like what? And she gets in her face. But it was also Nia, like the way she delivered her lines. It was like one of them free movies you watch on Pluto TV or on Tubi. It's like, it was really bad. I'm just like, what is happening? And you know how much we love Nia here, and I watch this. I'm like, this was horrendous.
Yeah, no, it was
so. So Nia basically tells her that now that you guys are done with that, we're still coming for the women's tag team championships, and so we get that match made next week.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be Nia and Lash against Rhea and Io next week for the tag titles. Next week's SmackDown actually looks pretty good because we got that match, and then we also got. We didn't talk about Alexa and Jade yet. Let's just go into that now.
Alexa.
So I did it again. Liv Morgan. Little pretty blonde girl. They all blending in my brain because they all look like Harley Quinn.
No.
They all look like Harley Quinn to me.
No. We're not doing that.
What? They all look like Harley Quinn.
No.
So Alexa, we got a segment where Alexa comes out, and Alexa's great. I did it again. Her name is Liv.
I can't with you.
Liv Morgan. Jersey's own 205 Live Liv Morgan comes out with Raquel Rodriguez, and she's saying she's best women's Royal Rumble winner of all time. She's the prettiest. She's the smartest. She's doing all of the adjectives that Bianca Belair usually does. That's my takeaway. She's doing all of the EST things. I'm the greatest women's Royal Rumble winner of all time, and I'm the most iconic woman in the history of WWE. So she goes, I have a choice to make. I could either choose Stephanie Vaquer, or I could choose Jade Cargill for the WWE Championship. But we have to address the elephant in the room. And she goes, Raquel, and she looks at her. Raquel takes her sunglasses off and snatches the microphone out of Liv's hands and says, we do have to address the elephant in the room. And before they can address the elephant in the room, Storm cosplayer herself, Jade Cargill, comes out. I can't with you. And she gets into the ring, and she gets into Alexa's face and says, Alexa
was not there.
This is gonna, and I'm not doing this on purpose. Here's the thing, like that's just the way my brain is doing it. I know it's Liv. I can picture it in my head, and it's for some reason my brain just wants to say Alexa. She gets into Liv's face, and Liv was great during this segment because of the facials she kept making as Jade was talking. Yeah, and she goes, congratulations on winning. And she goes, if you choose to pick me, I'm gonna walk into WrestleMania and I'm gonna beat that ass. And Liv with not backing up at all because she has Raquel next to her, so she doesn't have to back up. But in her character, she's 5'0" versus this Marvel super goddess over here. She should be running away. It made me think of, remember when Jade came back at the Elimination Chamber last year, and remember when she attacked Naomi? Liv was in the ring with Naomi. They were the start of the match. Yeah. And once Jade's music hit, because she was coming back from being thrown off the thing,
because she thought she was coming.
She was scared. She was terrified of Jade.
Yeah,
that's what I thought should have happened a little bit, or maybe if not should have happened, maybe not be terrified because you do have Raquel there. Just like take a slight step back and leave Raquel up forward, so that way you're not showing fear, but you are showing, hey, I have my bodyguard, my big best friend in front of me who can handle that for me. And it would have made, and it should have showed the power dynamic between them a little bit more, because Raquel was about to put Liv on. She was about to go off on Liv, but when it comes down to it, I'm still not going to let you attack my friend. And Liv would manipulate that a little bit. That's where I think she should have taken a step back. But no, Liv is just such a cocky, arrogant asshole right now that she's like, I can do whatever I want.
Yes.
So then Jordynne Grace comes out, and this was hilarious. Jordynne Grace, I say this every week. She's muscular. She's huge. She looks great. She's a tiny little person because she got into Liv's face, and I'm like, there's no way Liv is taller than her, because you don't think that way about Jordynne Grace because she's such a big woman. She's such a not stout but muscular woman. You don't think about her being small. She is a tiny little person.
The way you say it.
So she gets in Liv's face. She goes, if the champ will ever put the championship on the line, it may be you that, it may be me that you're facing at Mania. And Liv says something, and both Jordynne and Jade yell, shut up, bitch, in her face. And then this is why Nick Aldis is like, everybody shut up. And the visual of a grown man telling four women to shut up was not, I was just like, oh, that's not going to go over well. And he's like, everybody shut up. Liv, I told you this last week, and this made me laugh hysterically. I love Liv for this. I told you this last week. You're welcome to come to SmackDown, but if you're ready to talk, you're ready to fight. And Liv lets out this Banshee-style scream. She just yells. I'm not going to recreate it but she just yells at the top of her lungs like, ah! For like, it felt like 15 seconds she was just yelling. While Nick Aldis says, we're going to have a tag match. It's going to be Raquel and Liv against Jordynne and Jade right now. So we get that match. solid match. It was really just to get so Raquel and Jade never touch until the very end when Jordan pushes Raquel into Jade. But it was really to tell the story of Jade and I was gonna call her Roxanne. What's wrong with my brain? Jade and Jordan can't get along because one's a heel and one's a babyface and don't like each other. And then you have the other team who's one eliminated her friend during the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
And during that same friend's match on Raw, when she told her, "Don't help me, I'm going to do this by myself," kind of cost her the match.
Mm-hmm.
It was really to get to the end where Jade super kicks Jordan and Raquel accidentally big boots Liv.
Mm-hmm.
So we can get that face to face between the two behemoths. And so then Jordan pushes Raquel into Jade, knocking her out the ring. Jordan rolls up Raquel for the win. So, and then we find out next week we'll get the championship match between Jordan Grace and Jade Cargill. I'm waiting for you.
No, I got it. I'm more intrigued with Liv Raquel.
Right 100%.
I'm intrigued as to where that's going to go because Liv keeps screwing Raquel over, not necessarily on purpose, but she still keeps screwing her over. And then she manipulates the situation, and Raquel just keeps eating it and smiling it off and still having her back.
I don't think she's smiling it off. She was going to she was going to address it.
She was going to address it, but she was also smirking while she was addressing it. Did you not peep that part?
But she was smirking on Raw when she also told her to not help them out. It's kind of like the Liv, I love you, I trust you, you're my sister, but I know your motivations all are 100% aligned with mine. And even and that's fine because we can be part of the same group and we can help each other, but we're starting to deviate a little bit. And I think that's where Raquel is going. Raquel's like, I want to be women's champion. I want to be number one person. Liv is number one person. It's Liv in the hierarchy of WWE women right now. It's Liv, Rio, 1A, 1B. And I know neither one of them are women's champion. You have two other women's champions, but it's Liv and Rhea. They're your top stars. So the friction of the two of them, and again, I make this comparison. I made it again with Raw the other night. The friction of Shawn Michaels and Diesel, because Shawn Michaels was number one or number two guy in 1995, and Vince saw Kevin Nash and said, "No, I'm gonna make him number one guy." So they had to split them up, and Shawn had to turn on Kevin Nash. It's kind of the same. You have you're elevating Raquel to a potential top girl in that division, while you already have top girl who's been a tag team champion with her. So the dichotomy of the two of them, I like it, and that's why you're more intrigued by it, because we don't think Jordan Grace is going to win this championship. We're going to go into Mania with Jade Cargill as champion.
Yes.
Who knows who she faces, because we talked about this already. I'm not going to rehash Bianca stuff. But we need to start getting it's Tiffany. We need to start getting more challengers for Jade, and there's no compelling. This will be Jade's first championship defense, right?
That's crazy.
She won it in August. Like,
Jesus.
She has never defended that title. And that's why it's not compelling. She had a mini feud with B-Fab and Michin. Neither one of them got a title opportunity because they both got hurt. She's got this feud with Jordan Grace. She hasn't got a title opportunity yet. Like, this will be her first defense. It's been 6 months.
That's crazy. Because everybody's in the goddamn tag division. Okay.
Yeah. But go ahead. Finish your thought on Raquel and Liv.
That's it. Mister, I want to try to squash my whole thought. Screw you.
All right.
I am excited for that match, though. Jade versus Jordan.
Oh, I think it'll be a good match.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be great. Like I said, I don't
think
know.
Jordan has the ability to carry Jade.
Okay, we'll see. I don't know if I don't know if Jordan's best matches through TNA and NXT have always been in the ring with somebody else who's great.
Mm.
Whether it be Deonna Purrazzo, when Chelsea Green was in TNA.
Somebody that I'm upset is not on TNA or WWE.
Deonna Purrazzo?
Yeah.
Oh, I love Deonna Purrazzo. She's
I
great.
know, she's on a show I don't watch.
Ring of Honor.
Yep.
She's the women's pure champion.
Mm.
One of the 27,000 championship belts Tony Khan has.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did get the match between Tama Tonga and Shinsuke Nakamura finally.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. Like, Tama wins with a couple hidden blades because Jason Mateo got involved. My biggest takeaway is we're really freebirding these titles, right?
Yeah.
Because when Tama came out, JC Mateo and Tonga Loa had the titles on their shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
They held the titles up around Tama when they were in the ring, but then on the lower third when they coming back from break, on the match graphic, Tama Tonga was holding the tag team championship. And I was just like, oh, we're not even going to try to pretend like we're end of the lower third when they were coming in said MFT tag team champions. It didn't. So we're just going to freebird these titles. It doesn't matter. Yeah, Tama Tonga gets the win over Shinsuke Nakamura. We talked about it before. Shinsuke probably needs to go somewhere else. Like, this is just. It's over. The WWE Shinsuke Nakamura experiment is kind of over.
Yeah, officially. At this point, there's nothing. I mean, I won't say there's nothing they can do, but there's nothing they can do.
He's Aleister Black. Like,
and Aleister just got back.
Aleister just got back, and I guess you had him in the main event match with Randy Orton and Solo Sikoa. See who's going to get into the Elimination Chamber match. I didn't know it was going to be Randy Orton. You're not doing anything with Aleister. Not doing Solo is looking for his family, apparently. I think is Solo's walking around the back about looking for the MFTs because there was no segment where the MFTs got attacked.
Mm-mm.
There was no segment where they got abducted.
Mm-mm.
But he couldn't find his family. He couldn't find the MFTs to walk to the ring with him. And as he's talking to Kathy Kelly, like the Wyatt, like distortion, the VHS distortion is happening on screen to make you think, okay, the Wyatts abducted the MFTs.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, show me that scene.
Or that they were going to interfere somehow or do something.
No, I took it as an abduction. he couldn't find them. Like, you got this Hills Have Eyes serial killer cult gimmick over here.
Maybe we'll find out that they were taken next week.
Dexter Lumis, when he was in NXT, was Dexter. He was kidnapping people. His gimmick was he was a serial killer. So maybe we're going back to that. Maybe they abducted the MFTs. They took them. Next week you'll see Solo by himself. We'll get a grainy footage of all of them duct taped to a chair. But I don't know. Man. But we had the match. Randy Orton, Aleister Black, Solo Sikoa. Orton was going to win this regardless. Before we even start the match, Drew McIntyre made his way to the ring a third time. Cuts his promo. He kind of cut a babyface promo. He kind of did. So Drew's.
I've ended it.
Yeah, he stands on the announce desk, and Drew. We tell about this all the time. Drew tells no lies.
He tells no lies.
And I saw a clip from Mark Henry earlier today on Busted Open where he's like, Drew tells no lies, but he does whine a lot.
He does.
So that was Mark Henry's take. And I was like, you're right. So Drew says, you know, I watched Raw and I saw CM Punk and Roman Reigns talking, and they kept talking about me. And I don't care that people talk about me, but it was like one would say something bad about me, and the other one would defend me. And I don't care if you talk about me. I'm a 280-pound Scottish warrior, and if you if you wanted to pick me, Roman, you would have lost because I am that warrior. But what did aggravate me was you two kind of took shots at this championship and at this show, when this championship will always be the number one championship. This is the one with the legacy. This is the Bruno. This is the Bruno title. This is the Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock championship. This is the one that will. He says not Dusty Rhodes, which is hilarious. but this will always be the number one championship. And Punk, you were talking about, does the man make the title or does the title make the man? I've earned this championship. During pandemic with no crowd, when I carry this company on my back, I earned this title. He goes, so the entire SmackDown roster, and this is the babyface thing. He goes, they're taking shots at you. So every week, come out here and wrestle your arses off, because those guys are taking shots at you and saying you're a second tier show and this is a second tier championship. And then, so that was the babyface.
And then he threatened right after, and he was just like, or you'll get the boot.
Yeah. So he turns and he goes, Cody, Jacob, you want to put your hands on me? I'm the champion. Neither one of you guys are gonna get another championship opportunity, or you're gonna get the. So then he's leaving. Love Trick Williams, winning him everywhere on this show. He's on two segments in the show. He had this segment, and then he had another segment in the back.
Sammy.
Oh, the Sami Zayn segment. Oh God, we'll talk about that before we get to the match. I don't need Trick Williams versus Ray Phoenix again next week, but we're getting it anyway. Trick Williams comes out. He gets face to face with Drew. He said, he basically said, "I'm a main eventer. I've come out here to watch this match, and you're going to be facing me at WrestleMania." And Drew tells last time, he goes, "I've been asking for people to step up. You stepped up. I appreciate it, but you need to walk before you learn to run. Otherwise, I'm going to take those lemon pepper steppers and stick them where the sun don't shine." And he walks off. And Trick was like bewildered and upset. So he watches the entire match, which didn't make any sense to me. I thought he was going to watch the entire match and then attack Randy at the end. He did not. He was just there and they go off the air.
Yeah.
It didn't make no sense why he was there. But we had the backstage segment where Sammy's walking, looking upset because he lost to Drew. And Ray Phoenix walks up to him. And Sammy, don't be upset. You're a legend. You're great. You're one of the greatest. But and he says something to him in Spanish, and Sammy doesn't say anything. He's just staring down at the ground, upset because he lost his championship opportunity. Almost like a guy, like, I don't know if he's losing confidence in himself. That's the way it's.
And reports are saying that he was in real life backstage championing that he should win the match all the way up until his match in Saudi.
Really?
Yeah. That he said it's the right call, that he should win it. And
I mean, if you were going to have him win it, you'd have to drop it back right away.
Yeah.
It would have been a very short run. And I don't think you want to do that to Drew.
I don't think you want to do that to Drew or Sammy.
Yeah, I know, but and Sammy could win that match in Saudi Arabia, have the all-time moment in Saudi Arabia, one that they're going to show forever in every video package, and then lose it, and then have him be like, all right, I know I can get back to the mountaintop. I've had it. I've had a taste of it. I know I can get back there. So then that's his story. But having Drew fight for so long to win that championship, finally beat Cody Rhodes, and then drop it to Sammy, you kind of hurt Drew too much if you do that to him. Because he won the championship, lost it after 5 minutes of WrestleMania, had the year-long feud with Damian Priest, had the 6-month-long feud with Cody Rhodes. If you would have had him lose that title right away, you cut his legs off.
Mm.
So I understand them not having Sammy win it.
Yeah.
Sammy. So yeah, then Trick Williams walks up and he goes, "Why are you filling his head up with all this? He is great. He is this, but he didn't get the job done." He goes, "He's like an NBA team who makes it to the first round every year but never gets the ring." Like, and then Ray Phoenix just tells him, "Stop being disrespectful." If you want, and again, just we're getting Ray Phoenix and Trick Williams next week. For Trick Williams to just beat Ray Phoenix again.
Unfortunately.
Like, we don't need this. We don't need this.
We don't. You also missed the backstage with Zelina Vega, Aleister Black, and Randy Orton.
I did. Randy Orton was talking. I totally did not pay attention to anything Aleister Black said. That was coming right into this match. It was
He
right
just
before
basically he said that we recently had two of the greatest retire. Luckily, we still have you. And then he said, "Well, half of you," or whatever the hell he said. That was it. And then Zelina looked him up and down like she was going to eat him up.
I do remember him saying, "Oh, look at Randy Orton. Everybody would eat him up." No, but that line when he said it, I do remember him saying that. But when he said, "Well, half of you," it didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I was just
you would know. Unless he's just talking about Randy's back issues.
That makes sense, I guess.
That was the only thing I can think of. And I'm just like, that doesn't make. But then Randy comes out, they have the match. It was fine. Randy hits an RKO on he pinned Solo, so he hit the RKO on Aleister first. And then Solo gets up, tries to hit him with a spike, and Randy hits an RKO out of nowhere because Spidey sends him behind him.
Even though it was because Solo wouldn't shut the hell up.
And yeah,
he was like, "Oh, it's coming." Like, why are you alerting him that you're behind him, ready to attack? What is wrong with you?
Here's what they do. We said this a couple weeks ago when Chelsea Green went to attack somebody. She just yelled and ran at them. I'm like, of course she heard you, stupid. You went, ah! Yeah, no, but that's a logic. Yeah, so Randy hits the RKO. Randy advances to Elimination Chamber next in 2 or 3 weeks. I don't even know when the show is. So we got Randy advancing, and we
Tiffany.
got Tiffany advancing with the show.
Sounds good.
Do we have a Raw preview?
Maybe not.
Nope, that is not it. Oh, yes, we do. Jimmy and Jay versus Otis and Tozawa.
Oh, God. That's finally happening?
Yes, that's advertised for this week.
Okay.
And Maxine versus Natty. That's what we got for this week.
Maxine versus Natty. Okay.
And then they just said Elimination Chamber qualified.
Natty better destroy Maxine, I'm just saying.
Oh, 100%.
It better be a squash
The fact that Maxine is running around here saying, "I'm going to break people's ankles" when you just learned how to wrestle is hilarious to me. But this needs to be, and I don't even want Natty to pinfall. This needs to be Natty ground and pound referee stoppage.
Oh, okay.
Referee stoppage.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Like, have her get on top, just hit elbow after elbow. Maxine can't do anything else. Referee stoppage. It'll remind me when Kevin Owens beat Sami Zayn for the NXT Championship, and it was referee stoppage because he hit him with 10 pop-up power bombs.
Oof.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what we have for Raw.
All right. That was a good show.
It was a solid show. It kept me entertained when I wasn't asleep.
Yeah. Wow.
The show didn't put me to sleep. Everything else I'm doing around, but I essentially have this, my actual 40-hour-a-week job, and then something I've turned into a part-time 20-hour week job.
This guy. All right. Well, with that being said, we appreciate you guys as always for watching. Thank you so much for your love and support. You can catch us on Spotify, TikTok, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. And as always, we'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.